What's up, people? It's your favorite Mexican, Purple Ace, coming at you with the DCUO commentary vid, bringing you the Season 1 DCUO Fight Club All-Star Game. Go over the rosters really quick for you right now. For our team, you got Miner and myself from the Taco Truck, aka OPA. You got Renegade and Zach repping OP1, and you have Crumbs from 1UP trolling for us. And the other team you have Solid and ECAT from Uncensored 2. You have Arctic Chaos from Uncensored 1. Ace1 from SOL. Deem from the Replacements. And you have, that's their group. So one thing to notice, you'll notice in this group, is we don't have any dog or ghosting. We stopped, One Piece stopped doing it a couple days ago. We stopped doing it. Coincidentally, it was announced that it got changed, so it's not going to be in the game anymore. And you'll notice from their team, they have both of them. Well, we had asked Ace prior if he would not run the Ghost, just so it could open up some kills possibly, because it takes away from a team's survivability. Same with the dog. But of course, obviously, the answer was no. So you'll see through courses of the game, I get caught with the Ghost, and right now I'm not getting dogged as much because ECAT is mostly dogging our healers. If you kind of look in the side, right now we have our controller sitting on ECAT at the beginning just because we didn't want ECAT dogging our tank nonstop, especially with the Karmic Hex consumables, etc. So basically, we stay on Deem. We felt pretty comfortable. I'm looking for my blues. Obviously, if you see Ace1, right there, he's just trying to finish combos, so I'm kind of picking up my blues from there, and we're going there. We're just trying to apply the pressure. We know that since we don't have any CC, we have to be really efficient with our pressure, just because whenever you're playing a team that has that sort of lag, that's taking advantage of that lag, it's a challenge, and I think it's been good for us. I think we've become better as a team, and I think once it's taken away, I think you're going to see a lot of groups struggle. I think there's going to be a big turnaround for Uncensored Group 2. They rely heavily on it with ECAT as sorcery and Agora ghosting nonstop, which and to Agora's credit, Agora is one of the better trollers with it, in all honesty. And I think you're going to see SOL struggle a bit, just because Jabba was a much weaker healer without the dogging when he was nature, and Ace without the CC effects, his damage dropped when stasis stacking dropped. So it's just going to be, without the CC effect, it's just going to open, us, especially myself, it's going to open me up for a lot to be able to finish my combos, or I won't be ghosted or dogged. And another thing you'll notice, and it becomes a factor later on in the match, another thing that's annoying about being dogged or ghosted is when you break out, a lot of times, sometimes you have to spam that R1 button to break out, and next thing you know, you're hitting block when you normally wouldn't be, and you get caught with a block breaker. And that's kind of another thing that'll add, these things add up over the course of a match and can definitely impact a match like that. But we play through it. I think we do a really good job. Crumbs does a very good job of, just being incorporated into our group. Just because, I know the same way Arctic, Solid, and ECAT, they've always, they've played together a lot. The four of us, Zach and Miner, never really heal together, to be honest. I don't know if they haven't healed together in a long time, but I know Ren, Zach, and myself have played together the past couple nights. Just with some people not being on, etc. And Crumbs I think I've played with him maybe once or twice, maybe. I don't know if I don't think he's played with anyone else. But he's a very good player, he does a really good job here with the power, calling supers, etc. So we're really lucky to have him available. And a lot of people say, well, One Piece, has 4 of the 5 All-Stars. Well, I mean, anyone that knows the villain side knows it's not very deep. I mean, roster-wise, and hero side, you got 3-4 leagues, but there's still 3/5 of Uncensored in here, so it's not really, especially when you consider the ratio of PvP leagues on each side, it's really not a big deal at all. But we do a pretty good job. I think we sit with Deem. It looks like the game, just spoiler alert, it's going to end 0-0. We're just unable to get a kill, and with the CCFX, it's hard. It gave their team a lot of survivability, and they have Duke Chaos, who, in my opinion, like I said, he's back healing now, and he's I've said in some of my earlier vids, he's definitely, I consider him and probably Soder Cola from SOL to probably be the 2 top healers, along with probably Beastie Morph. from the replacements, and so anytime you have someone like a Chaos on your team, you're gonna have a hard time getting kills. You'll notice we do at some point try to switch to him and see if ECAT can keep him up. But you know, we're just, again, the CC effect on me is just too much. You know, I think whenever I'm excited just to see what our damage, our group damage, and things like that is going to be once this is taken out. I think that the fact that we're already playing without it, and still beating teams, or you know, this game for example, played to a tie, I think it speaks high to what we're capable of. I think, and I think another group you're going to see rise really again if they get back on and start playing is the Wolfpack. With if they go back to their original powers, I think they'll rise again as far as, you know, one of the top teams. So it'll be exciting to see what happens in the playoffs. Playoffs are coming up. We are in the same bracket with SOL, and I think we play the winner of 1UP and Uncensored 2, which will be interesting because both of those groups rely heavily on the ghosting and the dogging, and I don't think it'll be around when they play us. So we'll see what happens after that, and then when we go from there, we'll see what happens, and then I think we get the winner. If we were to win that match, it's we would actually get SOL or I think LTK, but so that's pretty interesting. So we'll see how everything goes once the dogging and the ghosting is taken out. But you can see, you know, we're just staying with Deem, talking about the match a little bit. They start kind of block breaking a little bit more, just because I know Ace hates the block break. He's very stubborn about it, and so I'm just picking up Lose right now. I'm not having to really kite just because we're doing a good job mitigating their damage and kind of maintaining our pressure while our pressure, you can see our kind of our health bars and our power bars, we're doing really good. We don't have to rush our supers this match or anything. But we end up playing twice. This is the first one. I just figured I'd upload one. They both end up in ties, the exact same groups. And after the game, we were just done. We tried to get them to drop Ghost. It was like, you know, either way, it'll just increase y'all's pressure, you know, and at least let some kills happen. So, but you know, Ace didn't agree to it. He didn't want to drop it. So we just said screw it. We stopped queuing. Didn't really feel like, going through it all again. It was kind of felt pointless to us if it's 0-0, and you have the dog and the ghost, you know, so. It's kind of one of those things where if you're not getting the kill then, you know, yeah, basically that was what it was. So the All-Star game ends up in a tie. It was fun. It's fun to see, you know, it's different, I guess, the different setup. It was fun to have Crumbs running with us, have Zach and Mine healing, which is, it's definitely an experience with them two healing together. But it was fun. I think it's a good experience. I think once the queues are fixed, once this arranged matchmaking comes out, it'll be pretty fun, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. And playoffs coming up. I think the brackets are up, just so everyone knows. The bottom of the bracket's pretty solid. They got the other One Piece group is in the bottom with the Uncensored one. Replacements are in that bottom group as well. So it should be interesting to see how that turns out. We'll see the playoffs start next week. And I think they're best out of 3, no party packs, etc., which I'm definitely excited about. So we'll see how everything plays out. And you can see we get Deem a couple times. It looks like we're going to get them close, but just one of those things. You know, I get dogged, and then, you know, I'm jumping around trying to avoid the CCs, but it's tough DPSing through that. It's been extremely annoying. I will be extremely glad when it's out of the game. I think the DPSs that have had to battle through it, I think are going to do extremely well after it. I think that our group damage is going to go up compared to most teams, just because we already push damage really well, and I think once it's gone, we'll push damage even more with our tanks not being ghosted or dogged or things of that nature. Me getting ghosted, dogged nonstop is the focus fire target, and I think it'll open us up. I think when that's gone, you're going to see us go after healers a lot more, or controllers, just because right now the reason we stay on DPSs a lot is because you got to mitigate pressure a little more than normal, just because your team is getting dogged and CC'd to death. You want to try to mitigate as much pressure, and so that's what we tried to do. we do a pretty good job, but unfortunately, Villains didn't get the W. Luckily, the Heroes weren't able to pull it off either. So I was really happy with the team. I thought we did a pretty good job. I know Miner didn't even want to play. I had to get him on. Triggs was actually going to heal originally. He had some lag issues though, so his internet was bad. Zach was there, so Zach was a sub for the All-Star team already. And I went from there. I think might be where we switch to Chaos. I might just be falling for Blues here. And that's pretty much it. So we just play the game out. Like I said, it turns out to be a tie. Kind of depressing, but the way the game goes, I mean, like I said, I'm curious to see how some of these teams are going to do without dogging and ghosting. In my opinion, it's a crutch. I think it is. I think, and we did it too. We did do it for a while to make sure we stay competitive, but we did a good job of learning how to play without it, and which is why you don't see us running it anymore. And I think the trollers we have are really good, and I don't think they have to rely on it, especially our healers. Our healers definitely don't need to rely on sorcery or the dogging to be efficient. So I think I'm curious to see. I mean, I think that 1-up uncensored Group 2 matchup in the first round of the playoffs is going to be pretty funny. In my opinion, if I had to pick a winner, if the dogging and ghosting is fixed, I think the 1-up group will beat them. I think Crumbs, Historical, depending on how Phantom handles the nerf or handles the no dogging. Controller wise, they'll be fine without it. I think they have Pantless too, actually, so they'll be fine without it. That's actually, so I think they might pull out that W. I don't know how uncensored will be without it. I think if you've noticed, we've uploaded some videos, and I think and we've played them a couple times, and it seems that anytime a kill's been given up on them, it's been a dog or ghost on our healers towards the end of the match. I know we played them a couple nights ago, and we said screw it, Jester, you DPS, mental DPS, all troll, and we ended up pulling it. We beat them 50-0, and then we even switched further. Minor Nature DPS, and Jester actually got on Zach's account and healed for like the second time, I think, the second time in, I don't know, like 6 months. And they got 2 kills at the very end of the game off the dog and the ghost on both of our healers. Neither could pop a super. We had full supercharges all the way around. I think I had a super, our tank had a super, both of our healers had supers. And they couldn't hit them because the dog and the ghost. So I think those lucky type of kills are going to be gone. And it's going to be curious to see how, I think you're going to see how good teams really are once we get to that point. And hopefully, we'll see the playoffs will, assuming everything goes well, the game's running smooth, the playoffs will be should be a pretty fun little ride. Hopefully we do well. I think the taco truck will do really well. We should be good. Shouts out to Eminence, who's in Hawaii right now on vacation. So hope he's having a good time. Shouts out to all of One Piece. I Am Sam. Shouts out to I Am Sam. Radio, big shouts out to Radio. Been getting our PvE on a little bit lately. Anyone that knows me knows I used to hate PvE, but for some reason, suddenly started PvEing a lot. So shouts out to all of OP, everybody out there, all the taco truck, Zach, who actually, I'm hoping to win our NCAA tournament bracket. I will update y'all in the next commentary. I think I'm gonna win. Just over. I have Indiana over Louisville in the championship game. I'm pretty happy with that pick, and if I lose the brackets, I will probably rage quit DCUO. So hopefully Indiana can pull it out. So we'll see what happens. March Madness is one of my favorite times of the year. Coming from a basketball background, playing in college, but I'm excited for it. So hopefully all y'all pay attention to it, and we'll see what happens with it. And hopefully, wish me luck. Let's hope that Indiana pulls it out. But the game's going to finish out, so let y'all see the scorecard. And that's going to be it. You're going to see a 0-0 game. We switched DCAT. Didn't work, but that's the way it goes. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs. I'll keep you updated with some commentaries. And that'll be it. That's it. So hope y'all enjoyed the vid. Comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Shouts out to Crumbs again. Shouts out to everybody coming in and hopping in. So that's going to be it.